I eat some greasy food. Squats are not my favorite because it makes me feel really tired. I feel weak every day. For carbohydrates, it's gotta be Chinese. Right. Hello guys, I'm Boris. Hi everyone, I'm Katie, Al Leone Production. We're in Shanghai now. We will share a lot of interesting things with you, and that is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Combat sports are very important sports in China. However, when it comes to jiu-jitsu, it was originally called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Is there such a thing as jiu-jitsu with Chinese characteristics? Xu HuaiQing is a Chinese athlete who was born and raised in China. Before, he practiced martial arts first, and then he switched to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He is also the first Chinese athlete invited by the ADCC, Abu Dhabi Combat Club.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, guys.
Today, we're at Xu HuaiQing's home. We're gonna get a better understanding of what a typical day is like for a Chinese ADCC trials champion. Hello, Shushu. Hello, Boris. My cat. What's its name? Its name is Fafa. Hello, Fafa. Okay, Shushu. Many people may be very curious about the schedule when you're preparing for a competition and when you're not. If I am not preparing for a competition, I may sleep until around 9 o'clock. Then I will go to the gym. But if I'm preparing for a competition, I will probably get up at around 8 to 8:30 every day. I will get ready for training, and I will train for about 3 to 4 hours. Then have lunch, and after that, I'll do another 1 to 2 hours of training in the afternoon. What's the biggest difference about your diet when you're preparing for a competition and when you're not? In the morning, I might eat some greasy food, like fried buns and pancakes, but when I'm preparing for a competition, in the morning I'll have cereal, milk, and bananas. At noon, I'll just go to any restaurant to have a meal. When I'm not preparing for a competition, I'll order takeout in the evening, because I don't feel like moving after I get home from training. When I'm trying to lose weight, I'll boil some food. Maybe I'll boil some chicken breast or fry some steaks. Do you feel any changes in your physical condition? Yes, there are changes. When I'm preparing for a competition, I feel very tired. I feel like I don't have enough energy. Can you control your mentality well? Do you have the feeling that sometimes I can't control it? Yeah, sometimes after losing weight for a week, I'll have a day to eat whatever I want. But you also need to prepare for your competitions. How do you restrain yourself? Cucumbers. Just cucumbers. And then drink water, that's all. Is there any other secret? Rice and noodles for carbohydrates. It's gotta be Chinese. Yep, that's right. Just like this is his hip. Then, with the other hand, you circle from the outside, put it in front of his thigh. At this position, do a tripod and press down. When you want to pass the guard, you need to kneel on the mat. He's a good teacher. He explained all the details very thoroughly. His techniques are really great, and he's also very easygoing. This is a person who I think really loves jiu-jitsu, and he respects this sport very much. He really likes to encourage his students. His wrestling skills are really good. We have arrived in Nanjing. Today, we're going to visit Joseph Chen's first jiu-jitsu gym, the Nanjing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Academy. And we can also communicate with his first coach. We can pick Joseph Chen's brain about how things were like when he first started training in jiu-jitsu. Hey everyone, my name is Guillaume. I'm from Canada. I've been practicing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for 12 years. I'm a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Joseph has made an insane amount of progress in this sport because he is more dedicated than others. Not only does he have a very high attendance rate, but when he also goes home after class, he takes notes. He has even shown them to me. He has several notebooks that are completely filled. Everything that he learned in class, the sparring that he did, what he wants to do but didn't succeed, and what problems he encountered, even things he wants to try next. He approaches this matter very systematically and with great dedication. The time that jiu-jitsu first came to China wasn't that long ago. It's not very convenient in China as a young person to practice jiu-jitsu because you have to participate in competitions abroad. Due to study pressures and other factors, I think it's extremely difficult to have really excellent jiu-jitsu athletes. And it's also hard to find a large number of professional jiu-jitsu athletes. So I think this situation will affect the development of jiu-jitsu in China. But now, I think jiu-jitsu is gradually developing more and more in China. I first started practicing in August of 2018 in Nanjing. At that time, I just checked online what jiu-jitsu gyms were there nearby. During that period, I just practiced for a little while, and then when COVID-19 broke out, I was there. So I trained every day whenever I had the opportunity. In 2020, I felt the state of training every day. I actually liked it quite a lot. After that, I hope to take it as a professional career. Right, and then I left Shanghai and went abroad. It enabled me to make more progress. Leone had already started sponsoring me before I went to the US. If Leone hadn't sponsored me, I wouldn't have been able to go abroad. It's too expensive. It's been of great help to me. Mr. Yuanyi, can you share your experience? How did jiu-jitsu come to China? Where did it start? And what was the situation at that time? In the first 2 years after I opened a gym, I always encountered many people coming to a challenge. It was a bit like the Gracie challenge back then. People practicing wrestling, people practicing judo, people practicing boxing, and people practicing traditional Chinese martial arts. They all wanted to challenge me. What kind of thing is Brazilian jiu-jitsu? They would tell you to have a ruleless fight with them, and they wanted to see whether Brazilian jiu-jitsu could really be used for self-defense on the street. So in the first 2 years after opening the gym, I really had a lot of challenges like this, challenging my gym. Here, I must especially thank Leone from the bottom of my heart. Indeed, for an athlete, sponsorship is of great significance. Leone provided me with opportunities, for example, to have exchanges and matches with people of higher levels. I think this is really crucial for an athlete's career. Hey everyone, I'm Snoopy. I'm a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've been practicing Jiu-Jitsu for 11 years now. I'm a main referee of AJP China. Jiu-Jitsu is developing very fast in China. Because of AJP, in Beijing, in some competitions, there may be 1,000 to 2,000 people in each fight. Of course, some of them are gi Jiu-Jitsu and some of them are no-gi Jiu-Jitsu, but there are more than 1,000 people who sign up. With the development of the media, it's very convenient for everyone to buy DVDs of World Champions, or just go to our method online to watch. Then everyone can learn by watching the videos. In this way, they can progress faster, especially within a very short period of time. 2 ADCC trials champions have emerged from Method MMA, Joseph and Xu HuaiQing. This is something that's hard to imagine in any other country when making a longitudinal comparison in Japan or in South Korea, although jiu-jitsu has been developing there for a long time. But there hasn't been any gym from which 2 ADCC trials champions have emerged at the same time. When I first met him, he was probably 14 or 15 years old. When he came for sparring, he seemed a bit angry, and when I heel hooked him, he didn't tap, and then he said, "It doesn't hurt." I said, "If I exerted any more force, you would break your knee." Hey guys, Boris here. Today, we're at the JCJJF Jiu-Jitsu competition in Shanghai. You can see that there are a lot of people here today. Personally, I think the environment is really great. Jiu-Jitsu has been developing in China. It keeps on developing without stopping. And we can also see that there's the logo of our method online in the back, and the logo of Leone. This shows that both Leone and Method Online have been supporting domestic competitions all the time, and supporting Jiu-Jitsu in China all the time. Many Chinese athletes have come to Method Online to shoot videos, and a lot of local athletes have been sponsored by Leone. Hey guys, I'm Xu HuaiQing. I've been practicing Jiu-Jitsu for nearly 10 years. I'm a black belt in Jiu-Jitsu. The level of domestic athletes has improved rapidly over the past 2 years because there are more and more competitions over time. As an athlete myself, competitions are the place that helps me make the greatest progress. They quickly stimulate some nerves in my brain, and by summarizing some experiences after the competitions, it will be of great help to my future training. Training in China, compared with training in the Jiu-Jitsu gyms of the United States, the environment in China is more free, and by free, what I mean is more people learn with greater autonomy. For example, in the jiu-jitsu gyms in the United States, training time is usually locked at 1.5 to 2 hours. There's a 10-minute warm-up session, the teaching time is between 25 and 35 minutes, and then the rolling sessions are also scheduled. Everyone knows how many rounds they need to participate in. However, in China, I think most of the jiu-jitsu gyms are a bit more flexible. People can have rolling sessions whenever they want. I think if you want to make progress and learn new techniques, China is actually a better environment. I'm from Russia. I've been practicing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for about 3 years. I'm a blue belt now. I'm in method MMA, and I feel that ordinary people, when they encounter pressure at work, they can relax here, and they don't need to think too much. And at training, you can get to know new people and make friends. Ordinary people, either international friends or Chinese friends. My name is Zhu Linjin. I train at Method MMA. I've been practicing for almost 3 years. I'm a blue belt now. Because I don't have much strength, I can rely on my techniques to defeat others. I'm Zhang Lei, the co-founder of JCJJF. We held the first event on June 6, 2015. At that time, the number of participants was 179. After nearly 10 years of development, the total number of participants, roughly estimated, has exceeded 10,000 people, and the total number of spectators, roughly speaking, should be around 30 to 40,000 people. The athlete Xu HuaiQing, who practices in Shanghai, China, has won the gold medal in the ADCC trials, and he is very young. I think some of these young athletes in China now, they may have just come of age, or they haven't even reached adulthood yet. These athletes all have great potential. I'm very proud Xiaoshu can make it from China to the world stage. My friends abroad don't believe that he only trains in China. Then I tell them, nope, he's not Joseph. He really trains in our gym here in China. So they're all very shocked. During today's class, we will share when we had the competition last Saturday and talk about what problems our students found. For those people who don't practice jiu-jitsu, you may not know that our belts have stripes on them. These stripes will show you that you've made progress. Why do you practice jiu-jitsu? Well, because I feel that as I get older and older, I want to challenge myself. Why did you choose jiu-jitsu? Because it's not just a simple sport. It requires a lot of thinking. And all the knowledge that I've learned, I need to apply it. It's actually really difficult. How did you first get in touch with jiu-jitsu? Well, I actually started practicing jiu-jitsu quite late. I began to practice it when I was 31 years old, and at that time, I was quite busy with work, and I didn't have time to do sports. Moreover, various physical indicators of mine were not very good. I wanted to find a sport. Then I gradually came into contact with jiu-jitsu, and I lost a lot of weight and became much stronger. I'm no longer like I was before, in a puffy state. When it comes to strength training, I always aim to use the maximum weight. I push myself to the limit, and then I change to the next exercise. Squats are not my favorite, because they make me feel really tired. My favorite is the deadlift. If there's not a competition, I may do it 2 or 3 times a week. If there is a competition, I'll make a change, maybe once a week. Strength training is a must, and you also need to train your stamina. Hello everyone, today is a very important day for me. I'm here to apply for a visa. I'm really nervous, and actually kinda scared right now. I hope that I can get my visa. If I can't get it, I won't be able to represent China to participate in the ADCC. So I'm extremely nervous at the moment. And I'd just like to express my sincere gratitude to Leone because they helped me prepare a lot of materials. They also covered all the fees for me. Once again, I'm really thankful to Leone. The first person in China. There is prize money on the line in the no-gi competition. I think I can earn that money and be a lucky champion of the trials.